Hello, everybody, and welcome to the December 4th, 2018 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine. That took a minute to say. Anyway, so the Pentagon had its first ever audit in U.S. history. Now, if you do not know, the Pentagon gets a lot of money, And I've actually encouraged downsizing it several times because we're just spending so much on it. We're spending and spending and spending on it. And what has changed since, really? I mean, have we really become safer because of it? I'd say yes in some ways, yes, no in others. And at some point, just pumping money into it obviously isn't the solution, especially when we could be using that money for healthcare or for poor people or for people who actually need it. Like, there are stories, the Pentagon has said they don't need all the military the U.S. government gives them. And there have been reports that they're spending tax money on prostitutes. But anyway, this is from last week, and I still proudly got to it before any cable news outlet did. And this is from Reuters. Results of the inspection, conducted by some 1,200 auditors, are examining financial accounting on a wide range of spending, including on weapon system, military personnel, and property, were expected to be completed later in the day. We failed the audit, but we never expected to pass it, Deputy Secretary of Defense Patrick Shannon told reporters, adding the findings show the need for greater discipline in financial matters within the Pentagon. Again, they're saying, stop giving us money, and the U.S. government keeps giving them money because the military-industrial complex loves them so much, because that's what helps them. But do you want to know how much money the Pentagon could not account for? $21 trillion. That is almost the entire national debt from America's founding in 1776 to 2018. That is 250 years-ish worth of debt that we have gained. Now, the Pentagon just lost. So basically, the Pentagon does not even have the... And mind you, that's more money than we even knew we gave them in the first place. I think it's, what, $2 trillion more than the official budget? They're just getting money out of nowhere at this point. Just completely unaccounted for. And they're completely unaccountable because of the Pentagon, and they're part of the military-industrial complex, and the military-industrial complex is completely unaccountable in the United States of America. It's really that simple at this point. We could have spent that money in hundreds of other ways, and yet that's the way we chose it. Mostly in drones to bomb other countries that we aren't even officially at war with. While this is happening, mind you, James Mattis is currently testifying to Congress, saying that, not testifying, he's making public statements, my bad, saying that we need to get out of Afghanistan. Which, by the way, as the Secretary of Defense, you'd think you'd have the power to, get us out of Afghanistan? I agree, the war in Afghanistan is bad. However, you have to do your job as a leader. You cannot just sit there and say, yeah, that's bad. Actually, you can, because you're James Mattis. Of course, James Mattis will not end it because he is just as war-hungry as all the other people in the administration. I mean, this is the administration that, honest to God, hired John Bolton. And at this point, you're expecting me to take it seriously as anything other than a force for the war machine. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Ann Coulter said something stupid again. I know, she's Ann Coulter. She does that a lot. If you don't know who Ann Coulter is, she's probably one of the worst right-wing commentators out there. She went on, what's her name show? Woman on Fox News, who I don't even think has a name, honestly. Judge Jeannie, that's her name. And I only know that because I'm looking at it right now. I honestly do not think... I just get her confused with Laura Ingraham constantly. Is Laura Ingraham secretly Laura Loomer? And is Laura Loomer secretly a Muslim? Okay, that first one doesn't make any sense, but that second one has real credence to it. Yeah, she invited Ann Coulter on. Talk about the migrant caravan, the wall, and all that. And just listen to this.
Border, and now the president seems to suggest, aside from whether or not there's a deal with Mexico, he's saying they ain't coming in. There's no catch and release. It's catch and detain when we get them.
Can we just also point out the president just signed a free trade deal with Mexico? But, you know, they can't come over here to work. We just have to keep exporting to them. We're literally giving to them and refusing to take from them.
Is that really going to happen in? I don't know. He says a lot of great things, and he better start following through because, I mean, one of the things you were saying about Hillary, and I think all of us have been sort of sitting back hoping she would run again. But, I mean, consider that in Texas alone, look at how close those last two elections were in Florida and Texas. If either of those ever flip, no Republican ever gets elected president again.
In my dreams, Anne. Also, I thought the Florida one was rigged or something, which doesn't make much sense considering a Republican won it. It was rigged when a Democrat looked like he could win it, but when a Republican wins it, that's not rigging. Even though Rick Scott was the governor and the one overseeing the election, for Senate, this doesn't make much sense is what I'm saying. And as for Texas, that's just because Ted Cruz is just awful. I don't even like O'Rourke, for God's sake. But everyone would take him over Ted Cruz.
3 out of 4 Hispanics in Texas are under the age of 18. So each day Trump doesn't fulfill his immigration promises, his voters are dying off, and Democratic voters, Hillary's voters, are registering to vote.
Can I just point out the implication there that there are no legal Hispanics in Texas?
So I hope he keeps this promise. I mean, this is why we wanted a wall, so that we wouldn't have to ask the country on the other side of the wall. You know, what he got in the last omnibus bill was $1.6 billion, and in the fine print, Paul Ryan, thank goodness he's leaving. And
You didn't say that while he was speaker, by the way.
Mitch McConnell, you know, say it's all, he can only use $1.6 billion for the actual wall itself. It's all this other nonsense with the fencing that they climb over all the time. So Donald Trump has done everything he can to do the wall. I mean, he can't build it himself. I think he can.
I just have this image in my head now of Donald Trump single-handedly working day in, day out to build a wall. Could he do that? I mean, Theodore Roosevelt hiked regularly, and he was younger than Donald, yeah, but to be fair, Theodore Roosevelt was also athletic from the start.
And I think the most important point is, no, I mean, you can use the funding from Department of Homeland Security and Department of Defense.
Because that's the biggest thing we need to use that money on.
Commander-in-Chief, and by the way, just separate point, but what happened to ending the war in Afghanistan?
That she supported until Obama became president. Then just coincidentally, it became wrong. Not the war in Iraq, though. She still defends that to this very day. Because it didn't spill over into Obama. Because Obama changed strategies and pulled out and just changed the drones. I guarantee you, if Obama were to have done the exact same strategy Bush did, and I don't mean like mostly the same like he did in our timeline, I mean the exact same, Ann Coulter would have stopped supporting it.
And we have troops protecting borders all over the world, not our own border. But the most important point is moving the military to the border. I mean, he can't do anything else. He has indicated he's going to close the whole southern border. No president. I mean, they've sent the military to the border. Bush did and Obama did. But I've never seen anything as focused as we are right now. Who do you think's sending these people? Well, his rhetoric is great. There are troops, I think 5,000 on the border, but if you are an aficionado of the Andy Griffith show, Barney Fife could have a gun but only one bullet, and that bullet he had to keep in his pocket because he wasn't a very good shot. That's more bullets than our troops on the border have.
Gives the... I would make a joke, but keep listening, she says it.
But the point I would make to Trump is, you know what the legal requirement is, posse comitatus. I mean, he's doing that. You can't shoot Americans. Pick it up. What? Number one, you can't shoot Americans. You can shoot invaders. Number two, even if that were true, okay, go in 1 yard into Mexico. What's happening on our border is certainly we should invade Americans and Grenada. We can't invade Mexico to stop them from coming in here. I mean, we're doing the same thing unless Mexico gives us that authority. If you recall, even in Benghazi, they said, well, we didn't get permission from Libya to go in and protect our men. We certainly can't cross the border to shoot them up over there. I mean, if that's what you're talking about, to send the military there. Reagan invaded Grenada, and Grenada was far less of a threat to Americans.
So, in conclusion, according to Ann Coulter, the answer is just invade any place that looks at you funny. I'm Ephrom, and signing out. And before we end, I just want to point out, she claims that she's not a neoconservative.